Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Restoration Church. Today we're going to be reading day 5 of the Life Recovery Devotional. Internal Bondage is the title of the reading. Step 2. We came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. When we are under the influence of our addiction, it may feel like its hold has supernatural force. We may give up on living, throwing ourselves into self-destructive behaviors with wild abandonment. People may also give up on us. They may divorce themselves from us as though we are already dead, whether our insanity is self-induced or even if it has a more sinister origin. There is power to restore us to sanity. Jesus helped a man who was known to be acting insanely. This man lived among the burial caves and could no longer be restrained even with a chain. Whenever he was put into chains and shackles, as he often was, he snapped the chains from his wrists and smashed the shackles. No one was strong enough to subdue him. Day and night he wandered among the burial caves and in the hills, howling and cutting himself with sharp stones. That's from Mark 5, 3 through 5. Jesus went into the graveyard and assessed the situation. He dealt with the forces of darkness that were afflicting him and restored the man to sanity. He then sent him home to his friends and family. We may be so far gone that we have broken all restraint. We struggle to be free from the control of society and loved ones. Then we discover that our bondage doesn't come from outside sources. All hope seems lost. But if there is still life, there is still hope. God can come into our burial caves too and restore us to sanity. Only a power greater than ourselves can free us from our bondage. I had to get away from the idea that I had to do it on my own before I was able to start seeing God working in my life to make me free. While I was still fighting to be free, I was fighting against God's power to make me free. That was my biggest problem. I hadn't come to the conclusion that God was the one that was going to set me free from my chains, that I couldn't do it and that I wasn't going to be able to do it, no matter what I decided to do. You know, this is a very good life lesson for those of us who struggle with mental or even behavioral addiction. What I mean by that is those of us that struggled with pornography, with addictive behaviors related to video games, Netflix, movies, TV shows. In fact, you know what? 95% of us could probably be diagnosed with an addiction today if society didn't accept some of the things that people do in addictive ways as normal. Like, when have you really thought about how much time you could reclaim if you stopped watching TV for 6 to 8 hours, starting in the afternoon and going into the evening, depending on when you work? Depending on what times you work and what things you do in your day, you could reclaim at least a minimum of 4 hours a day just from turning off the television. That's not to say you can't watch it at all, but we sit and we binge on whatever we put on. A lot of us, if we have cable subscriptions or live TV services that we use, then we set it, we forget it, and we veg in front of the TV for hours and hours. And people think that's acceptable, but really it's just another form of addictive behavior, if we really want to brand it as what it is. And that's really what life is. It's a constant set of, do I do this behavior because it's enjoyable, or do I do it because it's compulsion? Because a compulsion is just another word for an addiction, I'm sorry to say. And that's what I was going through. I was going through addictive behavior that I needed to break free from, and God needed to help me break it because I couldn't do it on my own. So asking God to be the higher power that can break us free from our bondage is the only option we have when we come to step 2. As always, thank you for watching. I'll see you again in the next video. God bless, and have a wonderful day.